Hi everyone, we've made it to the epilogue. We've been reading this book by Eric Metaxas. He's been describing our country, what our country's founded on. What a great book, what a rich book. I'd highly recommend reading it twice. You've been hearing my ideas. I take Eric's ideas, I've strained them down to important ideas that I thought were important. You might come up with a different set. Eric might say, well, I kind of meant that, but I hope it's been an enriching experience for you. It's certainly been fun for us to participate in this. This is our first shot at doing this kind of virtual small group. We want to do it again and would love your input. So send us an email. When you send that email, if you look down here, right down here, there's my email address. Just send it to me. Send me all your notes. I'll take the good and the bad. We said to expose our dark secrets in the last chapter. Well, maybe we didn't do this exactly right. I want to review and come back to, I think, a culminating event in the life of our country that we all experienced on September the 11th, 2001. My birthday, September 11th. What a great day to have a birthday, but an important day in the life of our country. We all witnessed the heinous destruction of property and the death that ensued. We saw America be attacked like it had never been attacked before. And what did we do as that developed? And I think we went back to our roots. And here's what I saw. Number one, we went to church. Churches were filled that day. You can't tell me that people don't believe there's a God in America because when something big happens, people flock to church. Better than Easter, better than Christmas, churches were full as people looked to their Creator for an answer. Another thing we did is we flocked to support our servants. The fire department in New York City, the police department in New York City, and yet that overflowed into a great support of others, of other fire departments, of other police. Another thing we did was support our servicemen. How many times do you hear nowadays somebody say, thank you for your service? We turned an ugly situation when men came back from Vietnam, when they were almost hated for their service, to a situation now where we're proud of our servicemen. We've taken a great step there. The other thing we did, don't forget this, we supported our president. We stood by our President Bush as he stood out there with that bullhorn and talked to all those servicemen. And for that moment, even though we were hurt, even though it was hard, we began to understand what this meant to love America and our country. Metaxas tells us this story as he rowed the boat out, not rowed, he rowed in. See, he wasn't rowing. He rowed the boat out on the harbor there at New York and saw the Statue of Liberty. And he remembered what his parents said. And his parents came in and saw the Statue of Liberty just as any immigrants came in, and they were received. And his quote on page, what is it? Page 254 says this, and it's a great quote. And I think he's speaking for all folks that have come in and enjoyed our country. He said this, "This is America. This is America. This is why I came here. This is the country that gave me hope when I had no hope, and that gave me and my children an opportunity when we had no opportunities. This is America, the country that welcomes me, that told me I could not only live here, but could actually be an American and could become a full-fledged member of this community of promise in this nation of nations, that it wasn't too good to be true. No, it wasn't a lie told to gullible people. It was true, and I would love it and live it and pass it on to others who would pass it on to others like me who could see it and come here as I had come here. And so their children could have what my children would have. That is the way America works. That is what relationship with God has. It is us recognizing Jesus Christ for who he is. And we pass that on to our children. And we know it's not too good to be true, that God loves you and me. And this great love of America is an example of how he loves us. Don't fail to read this book and understand that the God who created America also created and loves you. That through him you can have new life. Through him you can have hope when there is no hope. And that's the message of this book. I really believe it. I got to just say one thing there. All of this has been created by really by the idea of one person, and it wasn't me. All this film footage you've seen. My partner David Moss came to me and said, we're going to invent this thing called virtual groups. And I said, great, what's a virtual group? He goes, well, you're going to read a book and you're going to tell about it. I'm going to film it and we're going to put it on the internet and help people read. And I went, okay, I like it. So we did it. And the person that's been behind the camera all this time, I want him to come out, Dave, from behind the camera. See, this is what the creator of this footage looks like. And I want him to read this last quote and let Dave close it, since this was all his idea.
The quote, "Go forth and love America, knowing that if your love is true, it will be transmuted one way or another into a love of everything that is good beyond America, which is her golden promise to the world, and the promise that we, you and I, must keep."
See ya.
Thanks.